ulti's going to pop off from Oracle. Hook back in from Andros. Going to be charging up that epicenter. No one's getting out of here. That's 3 going down. Disruptor, he was de-warding. Look at the damage. Oracle buys back. Sweet as honey, says the big boy bear, and they are going to just crush your high ground from this. What a massive fight.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. It is LPL Season 2 right now. It is the last day for the round robin. The semi-finals have been decided, but the action is not stopping today. We are going to be bringing it. We're going to be bringing it big and walking you through it. It's me, GTH and WanderingBard. This day may not be the biggest impactful day in the overall tournament, but I'm still excited to see it. Eternal Discord bring it every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that Internal Discord don't do is waste your time, GDH. This is going to be an exciting game like all the others that have played this season. Fast-paced, chaotic, punchy, and because it's the week of a new patch, containing interesting revelations, no doubt, about what these teams think is good in 7.26C. Particularly that matters for Need Uprising because they, unlike Internal Discord, unfortunately, will be heading to our finals this year, which looks like the closest finals series we've ever had in the LPL Pro Dota League.
That is right. The squad is still the same that we're seeing every single week going through. Fury, Tackle, Kozi, Rizbag. 7 weeks in, 7 weeks strong. These guys know exactly how to play every single game. It's beauty to watch them, but these guys need to adapt to a new patch here.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, they do have this game this week. You know, that's one reason to play a dead rubber is so that you can experiment a little bit. We saw something like that last night happen with Toons Reborn. Unfortunately, missed their chance to qualify into the finals by FFY V2, securing a game from Oracle. And so instead we got to see teams really bust out some interesting stuff. Lots of strength cores, mid-IO appearing in multiple games. It was some funky Dota. And so while this patch is still new and novel, it's great to get to see more matches, especially featuring players like these. You know, Ilium has been a really exciting mid laner, I think, for Team Internal Discord. Can be overlooked because, of course, their results haven't been the best. You know, Gary the Goon, a very dynamic player for them as well in the laning phase, always watching their lane, going for kills constantly. That's kind of the entire Internal Discord team, right? Like, they are just this aggressive all-in Dota style.
That is right, and we're actually coming off the leaderboard series because if we're looking for it, we did say it before, Eternal Discord, they are unfortunately down near the bottom, down at the 6th position. They're 4-9 overall, but when we're looking a little bit further up, Need Uprising, but we do see Crossfire a little bit ahead of them at this point, so maybe we're looking for some better positions going into the semifinals just so we match it up.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, Need Uprising and Crossfire, you could say they're bitter rivals. They've certainly clashed a number of times across the LPL Pro seasons, often in the grand finals, although this season will be the toughest test for them to try and make it if they do want to replay that grudge match. It didn't happen last season. AGN, who saw at the bottom of that ladder, actually upset Crossfire and made it into the grand final. So the fact that their grand finalist of last season is the last place finisher this season should tell you how much we've seen the teams pick up the pace.
That is right, and actually, while we're excited, we will get into the action, but first, we're going to break to our sponsor messages, folks, but do not go anywhere. The action here at LPL is about to begin, and we're going to be seeing you after this short break. And we are back, folks. The action is about to begin here at LPL. Need Uprising going up against Eternal Discord for the game. It is the last day for the round robin, so this is when the action really just comes to a head. New patch, new possibilities. I'm excited to see where it goes and how these teams really do match up. And speaking of which, we are going to cut straight into the game. The draft is already coming, and the big stuff already started. Mars, instant ban, Lone Druid, Chen. We're not even stopping this train at all between these two teams.
Yeah, it's hard to tell whether Internal Discord have already figured out the patch or whether they never figure out any patch, right? This is like a martial arts movie scene where you've got like the hero, the enlightened master who follows the orthodox ways up against like a drunk dude that he found in a bar. But who is also a powerful master, you know, drunken master fighter, because that's what Internal Discord really are. Like, they have never, I don't think, we've ever seen them pick, like, the patch picks, right? They just grab whatever they feel like. And today they feel like Queen of Pain.
Yeah, fair enough. It seems to be one of those very flexible picks that was really prominent in the last patch and didn't really receive too many changes in this patch now. So it still seems to be just as effective as it was last week.
Yeah, it's interesting. I suppose that the mid quap did fall off a little bit towards the end of the previous patch, and of course the item changes sort of affected her quite painfully as well. The position she's in right now, she's kind of like the default mid laner, if you had to pick one for Dota right now, which is interesting how heroes, come in and out of vogue, but she's pretty comfortable against almost any matchup. Your worst matchups, you just shove out the lane and go in jungle. She has that capacity like many of the best mid laners, and she has the added flexibility of being able to play in basically any lane, a combination of strong stats, good range and attack speed on her auto attack, and a blink combined with a powerful, slowing dot. Just give her great lane presence in really any situation.
Speaking of great lane presence, we're going to get a Jakiro picked up by Eternal Discord, but it seems like Need Uprising, they're playing their own game here. A combination we don't see too much, the Nyx Assassin, who really hasn't been too popular this season, and the Axe getting picked up very early by Need Uprising here.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, these are two heroes that we saw constantly throughout the last season of LPL Pro, but not so much this season. Those patches come and go. Still, the Neats, like we talk constantly, the draft is their great advantage. Not only do they have Explosive Fury, who's one of the preeminent strategists and captains in the scene here, but all of their players have been together for long enough that they're very comfortable with each other's hero pools. They've worked out what they, can sort of make room for in their lineups, and they're always bringing together a cohesive draft to suit the situation instead of being locked onto certain heroes or certain patterns of play. So Nyx Assassin Axe, you're right, it's an unusual combination. They kind of fulfill a similar role. Nyx Assassin hasn't been a core for a long time, but even as a support, he kind of lacks a little bit of lane presence. Melee hero, he sort of provides a stun, not too much aggressively in a really violent trading lane, but with something like an Axe that sort of zones the enemy just by existing, I feel like Nyx is quite a powerful support pick, and obviously matches up well against Queen of Pain and Jakiro.
Well, I was about to point out there, both Jakiro, both Queen of Pain love the throw out spells, and those spells last a long time, and Nyx Assassin can wait to pop that carapace. So Nyx Assassin has a fantastic setup, and Axe loves to take advantage of that. So there is, a little bit of order to the chaos here from Need Uprising with the bans. They seem to be a little bit more straightforward. Enchantress, Changon, so Spag is being isolated right now. The other side from Need Uprising, they seem to be banning some very aggressive cores. Both Ember and Monkey King, their bans, they're targeting mainly these carries here that kind of deal with the Axe in lane. Maybe they're putting a little bit more priority on this Axe for tackle just to take control of this game here.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you're not wrong, although it's interesting if you're listing the carries that deal with Axe well in lane. I'd be surprised if they don't ban the Ursa here. The hero was nerfed, but it's always been a traditional counter to Axe for much the same reason that Monkey King is. These attack on-hit passives that these heroes bring to the laning phase, along with the control that they provide, mean that, Axe's normal playstyle leaves him actually surprisingly vulnerable to them. Nyx Assassin can help to offset that, though. Like often when Axe is fighting against these melee carries, he doesn't always need support, so you're used to playing against Axe alone. But this is Axe with a very durable backup in lane who can provide stuns, who can burn your mana. And without access to those sorts of abilities, they ban Riki, a very slippery hero whose silence kind of makes it hard for Axe to get a kill. They are whittling away the list of good lanes that Internal Discord can set up against the Axe.
So right now, maybe Eternal Discord just need to pick their carry as early as possible, but then if you do pick your carry as early as possible, it may be counted. And speaking of hero that loves to counter things, Viper, the third pickup from Need Uprising here, is one of those comfort cozy picks, but still, it's another hero that can potentially be flexible. Maybe not the Toons Reborn kind of flexible when they put in a position 4, but you could potentially run a carry, you could potentially run a mid, or even the offlane.
Yeah, after the brief fad of mid IO last night, I'm not going to rule anything out, but Kozi's heroes are the sort of most predictable factor of the Needs Uprising draft. I feel like we know that he plays a small handful of heroes particularly well. He often prefers to take a hero that he does know and does play into a poor matchup than take a counterpick hero that he's unfamiliar with. And so the Needs Uprising draft often sort of comes around to a place where Fury can find Kozi a matchup that he's comfortable in with a hero that he's comfortable on. And luckily, with such a good drafter leading your team, that usually happens. So Viper here, taking the mid lane, not many bad matchups here. I'm starting to wonder, as we do see Clink Superior Hero that got reworked very heavily in the patch, whether Queen of Pain might actually have been the safe lane pick against the Axe if things continue to, go the way of banning out melee cores, because at some point you're not going to have many good carry matchups. And, well, Queen of Pain is a decent farmer, certainly okay in the lane against the Axe, thanks to the range and the slow. So, maybe you just cut your losses and set that lane up. And I wonder if Needs have a plan for that eventuality.
Oh, it does seem pretty scary though, but for the fourth pick right now, does Neat scared? They're just going to go for the Vengeful Spirit. They've got some auras, they've got some swaps to save, even some setups. So they're looking for control, they're looking for stuns, they've got push lineup. Maybe they don't have somebody to hit the buildings yet, but that's why you kind of have the final pick here. But Eternal Discord, they're going a little bit different. I do like the surprise Clink's coming out though. He wasn't too popular in the scene, at least for this season so far, but the man has been reverted back to his former form. I mean, his Axe Scepter does take the place of his ultimate, but this is the Clinks that we saw, 5, 6, 7 patches ago, really? And even then, he was pretty strong.
I speak for the team.
It really has been like a slot machine of different abilities and builds that Clinks has had. Ice Frog or whoever else is doing the Dota patches nowadays seems to have just like shuffled through 100 different iterations of Clinks, and after seeing all of them, we're back to square one. It's actually, you know what? The old Clinks. I'm nostalgic for that now. I've had some time away. I miss the old Clinks. Bring me the old Clinks. So the old Clinks it is. But I think the old Clinks was a perfectly fine hero in certain situations. You have that very, very high burst damage. It helps you shred towers. You can split push, which Nature's Prophet and Jakira are also quite proficient tower pushers. And you're also very good at picking off supports like Vengeful Spirit who don't have any way to sort of immediately disengage you. Like normally you might turn around and stun, but Clinks can put so many arrows in the air by the time you get a spell off that you'll just die on impact.
And speaking of somebody who likes to put some spells off, the Rapid Nature is insane. Nature's Prophet, actually, she did get a little bit nerfed. Like, I mean, he's got less armor in the laning stage, but still a valuable pickup for Eternal Discord here. They are relying on it. I'm thinking off lane here. Potentially, if you are looking at that safe lane Quap, maybe is safe lane Clinks. I don't know. There is flexibility in Eternal Discord. They seem to be drafting here for that flexibility in their lanes.
Yeah, it seems like they would want to give the Clinks the mid lane, although they could try and put the Clinks against the Axe safe lane. I fear that you might get bullied out by Battle Hunger in that case. Clinks has an awkward sort of attack animation, even with the very high damage from the burning arrows. It's just sort of the kind of thing where you can be exploited while trying to deal with what Axe just brings to the lane by default. So assuming that case, then yeah, it does look like an offlane Nature's Prophet, although do you feel like the support Prophet is too hard to pick now? I just don't know if I want to call it a Prophet when it's an Axe. Okay. Yeah, me too.
I mean, you've lowered the armor a little bit, but you've made his treants worth much less than they were before. So a support Prophet doesn't give too much to the enemy anymore, so you kind of get more value out of it.
Yeah, one of the other reversions that happened, right? Because like for the longest time, Nature's Prophet's treants were just that annoying because they were worth like such a pittance compared to other heroes' summon units when they died. And then, for a while there, we sort of saw that playstyle go away because people had to be way too careful with their summons. Not anymore. Now we can see that very heavy harassment once again.
And right now we've seen a little bit of solidarity in their draft. These lanes aren't looking too flexible anymore, but Nagasaran being picked up as the position 1 and as answered by Need Uprising, the straight up Drow Ranger. They've got the double aura, the Venge, the Drow, the pushing power itself. It was slipped under the rug by Need Uprising, but what are you thinking here? Who has game 1? Maybe the greed from Eternal Discord is enough. They go late enough to take the game, but Need Uprising, they seem to have a pretty straightforward strategy. Spags on Axe. Spags on Axe.
Okay, yeah. Fury on the Nyx Assassin, so Core Venge. Yeah. Okay.
The Eternal Envy Axe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe this is going to be some sort of positions. I'm almost like maybe Teko's playing support this game because I don't really see the benefit. I suppose when you look at the internal Discord lineup, like the only melee hero is Naga Siren, right? Who isn't the best matchup for the Axe. it's going to be very difficult to get like a blink dagger off to call heroes, and if you do, you're only going to call one. So I don't think this axe has like the potential that it sometimes does to really, you know, destroy the game just by constantly initiating into multiple heroes with the call. That being said, Axe, there's a reason this hero has been picked up pretty consistently over, you know, the course of modern Dota. It's just reliable. Having that, you know, low cooldown BKB piercing blink initiation just works. So it's surprising to see it deprioritized, but, you know, we're seeing some funky calls this patch. Maybe it needs to just feel like the Venge is better.
Potentially. Maybe we are doing a little bit of funky role swapping here, but game one is looking a little bit harder here because even Eternal Discord, they're changing it up themselves. Even if you got a little bit of armor nerfing on the Nature's Prophet, they still see the value in it, putting Ilium on it in the mid lane there, just going for the safe lane clinks and a little bit of, you know, comfortability in the off lane here. Do you think Nature's Prophet in the mid is still as dominant as it was in the patch? I guess armor isn't the biggest deal when you're just too scared of the ultimate coming down, surprising you, and that early rotation coming in the back.
Yeah, I suppose it's better than I would think putting him in like a side lane core position, right? Like the matchup, there's a few heroes you're trying to dodge here. I think Jakiro and Axe are both pretty bad for Prophet to play into. They don't really respect his treants being very high armor tanky heroes. The damage over time spells are good at burning him down. He's in controlling him. He actually does not have a lot of health nor a lot of move speed or any. It's sort of a funny hero, isn't it? He doesn't really have much going for him when you cut away those trees, those spells. But in the mid lane, you can leverage one thing that Prophet does have, which is sort of farm and then map presence through that farm. You know, it becomes the hero that buys whatever item your team needs. If you need a carry, he can build, you know, Phase Blade Metal Desolator or something and destroy towers. He can build a Necrobook to push. He can build fast mechanism to team fights. So, you know, I see the Prophet as being a mid lane pick to create space in the mid game for your Naga. You're sort of investing in this Prophet to make sure that you are going to have, because you're going to be playing 4v5, right? This Naga is going to be AFK, but 4v5 doesn't feel so bad when you have this powerful, your most farmed hero outside of the Naga is able to be anywhere on the map at any time. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, that seems, to be true. But you need to make space for your Naga because that is kind of your true carry this game. And eventually, we did see it last night. The Drow Ranger, the Lose Yourself Drow Ranger, which was the backbone of Oracle's draft, it got shut down quite a bit and it couldn't transition to the late game as easily as the other core here, and Nagasaran doesn't exactly have that problem. This hero loves transitioning to late game, even the ultra late game, and ultimately carrying his team to victory.
Yeah, it's just what we've seen about the preferences teams have had for core heroes, especially in the last patch. I don't know whether that's going to change into this next patch. It's been a wild couple of days, and I feel like we will find out more, you know, after a week or two of this patch. But you know, there's a reason teams are prioritizing Quap and other heroes who are very mobile, who can move quickly around the map, who can farm quickly, because they can continue to secure their farm even if the game starts to go bad and you lose some map control. Whereas Drow Ranger, she doesn't really have that ability to move freely around the map without getting ganked, and that's why we saw her, you know, the hero really fall off hard, no matter how good its start is, if your team starts to lose. So that's something that you have to be worried about. That being said, their lanes are incredibly strong. Their mid-game, not so much team fight, but just their brawling, right? Like they have extremely low cooldowns, tanky heroes, tons of damage, tons of control, and pushing power. This is a very strong public lineup. It's a pub game lineup because you just kind of run at them and fight. There's no real subtlety to this team. Just play your hero. Fight them.
Fair enough. You don't need to too many strategies. Look, Battle Hunger, Gold Dream just running back. Spags on his job, Riz gone for his, just hitting up Naga's Iron. Let's see where the lanes are actually situated, and Riz actually seals a rune right from under the Naga, walks on back to safety, doesn't take too many damage, and even throws a chili right on back. So, great start for Need Uprising. Interesting way to go about it.
Chili. It's value, you know, those, ever since Ice at what was it, TI3 with the coal, like, you know, these items are in the game, you can use them. Psychological warfare has a long and proud history in Dota, so, you know, a bit of pepper spray for that Nagasara and let her know she's not welcome here in the lane. It is interesting to see her in the off lane, though, as God Dreams dies.
Same with Quap being chased down by Spag, but okay, potentially a solid kill. I was honestly about to point out here going, what can Axe do against the Queen of Pain here? It seems like Queen of Pain will just put the dagger on him and he can't do much about it, but it turns out he just runs at you.
Yeah, I think the big difference here is putting the axe in the support role, right? Like, I don't know whether this is the plan all along, if it was just a big old bait to first pick the axe, but Neats clearly saw the amount of counters, the slows, the ranged heroes, the nets that were on the side of Internal Discord and just said, we don't actually have a good lane matchup for this axe. So rather than run it and just run it at a loss and have a crippled core hero, you may as well play a support axe. You can still go to the jungle to farm in the mid game if you find your team desperately needing a blink dagger. And now it completely changes the complexion of the matchup against bot because you don't need hit creeps. You can just run at her. You can just hide in the trees so she can't harass you for free.
It seems like quite a good plan because these lanes are looking pretty fine. Fury doesn't need to really do much because Venge is really a very strong solo sufficient laner. As long as somebody is just there with the stun, and Fury, he's just hanging about, hiding in the trees, looking for the opportunity to get the double stuns here. And Spag is just manning up against both these Eternal Discord heroes by himself. Goldream very low, but instantly battle hungered, so he's just chipping down away. He has to steal a creep to actually keep the battle hunger down, so Naga Siren isn't feeling happy about that one, doesn't give a single creep to him. And it seems like just a fantastic situation for really Riz to have a good time. 5-5 already. And in this mid lane as well, Cozy still trying to get the dominate here, but Ilium 7-3 keeping up against this Viper. And I guess this Nature's Prophet here, level 6 is much bigger than the level 6 of Cozy.
Yeah, and Ilium is armed with that Blightstone combined with the Treants, having a lot of power in this lane, even against a traditional laning hero like lane dominator as Viper is. Trading evenly with Cozy, it looks like, and maybe even coming out ahead. As he go into the bottom lane.
There you go, we got the mischance coming out, but mischance can't actually prop the carapace. So we get stunned on back, moves on back, a nice little go away. But it is interesting to see Clinkz back in this position 1 role with his old ability. Strength does still give you the evasion, which seems actually pretty good against Vengeful Spirit a little bit, as long as the stuns aren't really stacked upon him. So it does seem like a pretty good lane for the Clinkz overall, but is Clinkz still that same hero that can carry you the game single-handedly if needed to be?
Yeah, it's interesting to try and take out the Drow Ranger because, the way that marksmanship work makes you think of melee sort of assassin carries, heroes that can, turn invisible, blink onto the Drow somehow. But I mean, Clinkz is extremely mobile and doesn't need to necessarily close. Like sometimes closing with the Drow can become like a preoccupation that gets you killed. So I like the positioning of the Clinkz. The burst damage is pretty much unparalleled in the mid game. And as you pointed out, the evasion is extremely relevant. Your opponent is playing a triple ranged Agi core lineup to really fully abuse the Drow aura.
Fury, he's gone. He can't have that one. First pod actually going to Eternal Discord here. Fury was just botting it. Tech core is so low here, and he's being burnt down by Gary. The Liquid Fire comes out. They get a double to start it off. Fantastic start for Eternal Discord here.
Yeah, not bad at all. Internal Discord, they've been playing, I don't want to flame them, but surprisingly reserved. Like, these have been some quiet lanes, so it's good to see them, rediscover a little bit of their bloodthirst, and in a way that pays off as well.
Yeah, it seems very effective, and they have just the heroes to do it. But one hero who hasn't been faring up too well right now is this off-lane Nagasai. In fact, Ilium's going to be trying to help it out, going for Spag to support, but he is beating down Goldream in the back, but now he needs to change his mind. Goes back, spinning around, just going to get the damage out. The train's going to come out to get vision, and they've got it. Spag is dead. 3 on the kill meter for Eternal Discord here. The rotations are coming in early and hot from this Nature's Prophet. The ability to be anywhere at any time for your mid-prophet is working out fantastically for Naga, but then again, the lady's got 6 last hits from this lane. This is kind of not what you want to see overall. She's got the same net worth as Spag.
Yeah, it's curious, right? Because, like, you can say, oh, well, that's my offlane hero. I don't need it to have farm. But really, Naga is not one of these core heroes where you have a bunch of utility spells or got a nuke ultimate or something like a Luna, right? If a Luna was underfarmed, well, you've still got Eclipse. But just having a Song of the Siren on an underfarmed Naga doesn't really sound like it's worth the hero pick, to be honest. I mean, it has a lot of armor. It's quite nice. You can run your illusions at the Drow maybe, but I'm sure they expect to get more out of this Naga. And I'm just not certain whether this was meant to be in a different lane or whether they somehow expected this to go different.
Ilium went down the first rotation here. Naga Siren's actually going to survive, but okay. Your fantastic Nature's Prophet has been put in the ground. 14 seconds there. You do have to be careful. Even if Nyx isn't in Viz at all, he's still got a fantastic stun set up for whatever you want to put on top.
Yeah, there's a Radiant Ward there where the Knicks came in, so it looks like they just caught him out of position. I mean, Nature's Prophet does have the global teleport. Of course, that's a very slow skill. Doesn't have a blink or some other reliable movement ability.
Killing it.
Oh! Wow, that
wow. What a save there, just in time. The damage was not enough. Tackle does not go down, but as a bright side here, Input is having a fantastic safe lane. Nature's Prophet is having a fantastic mid lane. We've got two fantastic lanes on the side of Eternal Discord for what looks like a very early tempoed squad. So things are looking a little bit up for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to see Input doing well. This is a hero who's a player, sorry, who's very often sacrificed, right? Like we've seen Eternal Discord lose a number of Dota games this season, and for some reason it seems to be Input's lane that, you know, his support leaves to go and help someone else, and Ilium is getting most of the farm priority, and Input is just getting trashed through no real fault of his own, just kind of left to dry alone in the lane. But yeah, now that the Clinks is getting some farm, we might see what Input can actually do when he's given farm priority. Although I must say... Oh, hang on.
Oh, Viper Strike, they found the Prophet. They don't need that stun because they're going to take him down anyway. Axe has found himself Nagasar and come in and say, hey, tried to help, but now he's going to sacrifice his own life for it unless Gary can save him. We've got the swap, going to get Battle Hunger off. Spack has got the call, though, and he's just chasing down this Nagasar, and the poison is added up. He's chipping down to add a double kill for Neat Uprising. Just keeping the Predator Fury being able to make these rotations, Tackle not being truly sacrificed in the bottom, but the freedom of this Nyx assassin just to leave this lane and maybe even just go for Gary to go. Okay, stun perfectly timed. Spack is going to bring the Ancient Creeps into it and get the spins of Kozi to make it a triple. 3 kills, even the kill count in theirs. But Input is going to be trying to turn it back the other way, but he doesn't have the damage. The TP from Nature's Prophet going to come on in. They want Kozi if they can with the rope between them, but they don't have too many passes to actually crack whiff. Maybe you don't get a Riptide, but you will get a kill. And now Fury's trying to run away himself. So to tell Discord, they're not going to give away kills for nothing. They're going to come and kill you to blink forward. Godra of the books to sacrifice himself. Fury's on a killing spree, but you give all the kills back to the Nagasar to get that farm back on him, making this trade a little bit better for Eternal Discord overall, but still, it does seem like they're hurting.
Yeah, they're disbelieving Fury, trying to tip the Nyx assassin like, hey, sorry, tip the Queen of Pain like, that wasn't good. You died to kill me, to secure the kill on the support, but the cop tips right back. That's the Eternal Discord way. Very, very typically aggressive play from them. However, as you pointed out, that trade not necessarily in their favor, and this is what we so often see, right? They fight, and some of the fights go well, and some of them go poorly, but overall on the map, there's usually a core hero missing out, and this time it is the Naga Siren, you know, out stranded up here in the top lane. I'm not sure whether they expected her to just have a lot of space to farm the jungle and sort of keep up that way, but as we can see, they're immediately plunging into the top triangle. They're finding the low-level, low-health Naga and just picking up some freebies. So I wonder whether they're going to just transition this into a support. I guess she's just going to buy auras and kind of hope that the illusions can be an annoyance in the team fight, but this is an odd sort of off-lane.
I was about to say, this is an odd sort of build. Somebody has got a Helmet Dominator between the 3 of these heroes, and none of these heroes are natural Helmet Dominator builders. But Spag, he's just going to make them pay for it. We're going to try and TP out for Riz, but the control's going to be there, and the kill's going to be there, because 4 heroes right now are top. No, 5. The entire team of Eternal Discord. We have found Input in the back. He is out of mana and will be sacrificed in return. So both carries are dead. Spag is chasing for more. Fury is looking for the stun, but the Ice Craft is fantastic from Gary. It lands on Spag, takes him out by Kozi. Kozi has finally arrived. Looking for the Nugget, but we do TP out in front of his face, only to die in your base. And now everybody is running on back. 3 dead for Eternal Discord, 2 dead on the side of Need Uprising, and Goddream, can he even get out? Stun being aimed, stun being landed, and with the Wave of Terror on the back, they're going to make it a quadruple. 4 kills for Need Uprising overall. Eternal Discord, they had the plan, they had the strategy, but Need Uprising were waiting to take complete advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Need Uprising are all business today. Like, I mean, okay, they are trying out something a little cool with the, you know, maximal use of the Drow or stacking all these Agi heroes, but, you know, they kind of know how Eternal Discord are going to play. This is not the first match between the 2 teams, and it seems like Need Uprising just today decided to pick the, like, most hard-assed team fighting rock of just heroes that don't die and throw out stuns and damage, and it's just impossible for the kind of haphazard, opportunistic fights that Internal Discord normally goes for to work out against heroes like Viper and Axe and Vengeful. Like, you're just going to get punished almost all of the time, as we saw there, very heavily. At least the Helm of the Dominator, it's nice, you know, the heroes have been reverted to their old times and seemingly their old builds as well. That's the classic Clinks item, of course, since the Death Pact rewards you for eating the extra high HP buffed creep that you control. And in the meantime, it's a good farming item. You always, it's like, the problem with Clinks with the old Death Pact, right? It was like, oh man, I got a team fight, but I have to run over to this neutral camp, I need a creep. But now, with the Helm of the Dominator, you got your meals on wheels, your creep, you keep your fattened calf with you at all times, ready to go.
All right, now he ate his calf, took it down, but what he could get, where's the beef? It turns out the Clinks is the beef the entire time as he gets cooked by the side of Neat Uprise and Gary the Goon. He's surrounded by two. His Magnifier does nothing as he burns himself to death, and now Naga is just gonna sing to save his life. But this man's the fat lady, and everybody's waiting to see him sing. And Tekle gets a double. Oh, the punishment to Eternal Discord here.
Tekle, like, thrilling at the chance to get the ultimate humiliation kill of Dota 2, which is, of course, assassinating somebody with the, like, 45 pure damage from Howl of Terror. So that was very interesting to watch. Unfortunately, the Clinks item did not really work out. Kind of announcing your presence by running the creep into the enemy team gives them time to put down vision, and ultimately it must be awkward to have to go to the afterlife and face the ghost of your satyr and admit that you ate him just to fire eventually one searing arrow before ultimately dying yourself.
There was a little bit of damage. It looked a little bit nice. I mean, yeah, the strategy was there, but it seems like just Neat Uprising, they knew exactly how to play for it. So the landing situation doesn't seem too great for them. 5k gold net worth so far for Neat Uprising. We're only 12 minutes into the game. It's 7-14. The score might be a little bit more even than this because the pressure isn't going to be slowed by Eternal Discord at all. They die in the bottom lane, so they just head in the top, take your tier 1 tower for themselves, and make sure they have some map control somewhere.
I mean, this isn't just like mindless aggression. We mentioned that they do have great potential to split the map, and even if they start falling farther and farther behind in team fights, they're never going to lose this mobility advantage that they have. The fast-moving Skeleton Walk, you know, the Clock Blink, the Prophet Teleport, even the Naga can create that kind of strategic advantage because the Sleep is such a powerful and safe way of controlling people's teleports. And so they might be able to, you know, eke out a bit of a split push threat here. But Neat Uprising are very disciplined, and if anyone knows how to respond to that kind of push, it's them. As they go on the Quap, who's just minding her own business in mid, almost chainstunning her.
Waterboy.
Unfortunately, Fury just pops the carapace, and it doesn't work like that. You're hoping someone just like panics and hits you for no reason.
Oh, Riz though, he's manning up against Clinks. Nice silence, but we're going to be manning up between. We've got evasion, we got damage. Who wins? Because Ilian comes in, maybe to turn the tables, but an instant swap to get safety. Tackle's going to be there, just walking up the high ground, not fearing a single thing. Because if he dies, we're going to bring it back up, and that Spirit is looking pretty vengeful. But now Fury's back coming in as well. Input is just running back. Same with Ilian. We're just getting out of this area as quick as we possibly can. But Cosy has found himself an MP in the river and melting him down with the Viper Strike. So 29 seconds on him, no buyback, and just going to be fed to the Viper, who's already having just a fantastic game. The man has got so many kills, able to make so many rotations, and really hasn't been died. He died once, and after that, he doesn't really care.
I mean, it's just not like the Internal Discord team has so much trouble bringing down just these tanky heroes who can stand and deliver like Axe and Viper, right? And even Nyx Assassin with the carapace we saw before, like how hard it was for them. These heroes like Clinks and Prophet are so fragile. Clinks wants to run at a hero in Skeleton Walk, pop out and kill them before they can even turn around. Prophet wants to teleport on a hero who's ideally already preoccupied with doing something or who has like half of his farm and sprat them and kill them. Like, these are very sneaky, unfair fight-taking. And when you try and go on a farm Axe or a farm Viper and they just turn around and run at you, like, the Clinks actually just wants to go invis and walk away again. He can't really stand there and trade.
Is under attack.
Oh no, he definitely can't. You've got to really pick your fights, and the fights just seem so limited right now. Even Spag is taking control of this game and really just making sure that we have to go back and farm our items. We've got a Meteor Hammer coming up on Nagastar, and we've got a little bit of pressure coming up, maybe from Input here, but he has literally 0 mana here on Riz, just keeps him back the entire time. Even with Gold Dream there, the man's level 6, but he can't really deal with Riz right now, and just so much pressure trying from Eternal Discord that isn't really needed to be answered by Need Uprising. These lanes are just going to constantly be pushed into them. Maybe Gary can push them back a little bit, but that just means more farming for Fury.
Yeah, the Meteor Hammer on the Naga is very telling. I mean, it's not any sort of traditional carry build, whether that's because the lane went so disastrously and they have the strategic knowledge to recognize she's not coming back into the game in that way, or whether this was the plan all along and you're picking your offlane Naga as a glorified support. Fury getting caught out by the Ice Path. Now trapped with the net. Looks like
maybe they can do it. Clinks is here though, so the damage is there, but Spag's waiting on the other side. Call comes out, doesn't get the Naga, but it gets a Clinks, and with dust being picked up, they're going to get in Kozi. He's not being hit by the song right now, so Gary is just taking it from the back. There's your Macrifier burning to save, but can it save the day here? They are split, they are low, and I think we're losing at least Gary here, but it might get even worse. Queen of Pain, can he even react? He's in the area. He unfortunately did DC at this point, so when he comes back, he's got to react very quick to the situation here. But Next Assassin still looking strong. That was the initiation, and Fury still half HP, literally just walking away from this situation.
I mean, yeah, it was just what I was saying before. They have real trouble killing any of these heroes. This seems to be the entire point of the Need Uprising draft, is they've recognized that these are all these sort of sneaky, opportunistic heroes. They're looking for pickoffs on towers. They're looking for pickoffs on heroes. Obviously, the towers are easier to split push when there's less heroes on the map, when those heroes are afraid of defending them, are afraid of pushing out solo lanes. Like, that's what they're trying to do, is deny you map control with this constant Naga split push. Like, the Meteor Hammer Illusion Naga is going to shove your crate waves in just to deny you the vision, and then they can try and pick you off with the Clink scouting for the profit. But you know, if everyone on your team is too tanky to die, Nyx with the Carapace being a very tough cookie, as you've seen, it kind of stops the momentum before it starts. And that fight was disappointing to say the least. I feel like if I am Gary the Goon, I'm a little bit annoyed that Naga couldn't walk 3 paces to the left and like apply the sleep to the Viper murdering me. She's just standing directly on top of the other people she's sleeping. It's a wide AoE. You could have moved over. Instead, Kozi gets an absolute freebie.
Oh, actually, Kozi comes back to blow away Fury, but we're going to be turning back the other way. Illium is dead, caught out by Spag. Spag is running back to safety. Kozi, he is so big and scary. You need to run back, but can Spag survive? No, he can't. Double kill, but a Queen of Pain. Kozi in between. We do have a center walking back and forth. We got to decide who's to stun right now. Kozi going to be netted. And Nagasiren is going to just TP out in front of them, and Clinks, okay, he's just going to be caught up, manned up. Tekles is going to be melting him apart. Kozi does so much damage. It seems like they really just can't man up against this Viper here. He just rips you apart, and you have literally no answers for him right now.
Yeah, they lack a couple of things. They lack stuns for one, right? So like anytime you're attacking Kozi, he will at the least be attacking you back. They have literal, they have Ice Path. Ice Path is their only skill that allows them to take some free hits on the Viper. And then the Viper has max corrosive armor, or corrosive skin. So, like, your 2 most damage-dealing heroes are the Prophet and the Clinks, and they are also, like, your most fragile heroes. So they almost can't afford to hit the Viper, let alone have the Viper hit them back while they attack him. It makes it so difficult to get these kills, and, that problem is replicated across half the Need Uprising team. It really feels like this internal Discord draft, which I thought was okay, was designed to create space for a Naga Siren to then come through as your primary farmer and carry the game. And why they sent it to the offlane, I still can't quite fathom, but certainly now you're in a position where I don't know where their draft goes from here.
Well, they got to kill Fury at least, which is fantastic. Put a little bit of gold back into your Clings at least, but the pressure still just seems to be Need Uprising. And I mean, while we got a little bit of downtime, I'm not sure how long this downtime is going to last, because the action just keeps on coming here. These heroes are just looking fun, but we might as well thank one of our sponsors for bringing us this fantastic game. Conquer, our monitor partner, always bringing the great quality hardware to give you crystal clear vision to watch fantastic games like this. Play your fantastic games, you never miss a beat, and it's crystal clear pure whenever you pick up a Conquer monitor, and they're just sponsoring this season of LPL.
Hopefully they come back for next season as well, as we see Spag moving into the trees. Double damage up on the axe. They're looking to fight our Neats. I'm sure they feel strong. 8,000 gold ahead at 18 minutes, and certainly with the lineup that is sort of reaching its peak at this point in the game. They didn't really pick any sort of slow scaling carries. They aren't playing the Naga Siren. They are ready to go, and the question is only Roshan or Smoke Gank. I think they want the kills.
Right now, yeah, they have smoked up 4 heroes themselves. So many different opportunities to go. Goldrim is breaking it, and Sleep Naga is trying to run away, but damage is going to be there on the creeps. At 200 gold for Riz, but they want something bigger than that. The ice pop is a little bit short. Can't do it. Sonic Wave to save. Carapace coming in, but it can't stand a single soul as they run back to safety. They don't lose any heroes here unless Kozi finds a Nagasaran, who's going to have to sing TP his way out of here. He gets back to safety. It takes a while to get there, but everyone on Eternal Discord gets out.
Yeah, not sure why the Naga even bothered holding the song. Like, you're effectively a support Naga at this point with a level 1 song. If it was a high-level song, I could see the argument where you're trying to consistently split push with it, but the cooldown is so high on this one that you're not really a dynamic split pusher just by having it off. So, you know, you may as well just use it. Maybe your Queen of Pain would have the Sonic Wave available if you had to fight. And certainly it denies the opportunity for Nyx to stun you and make you die a very embarrassing death. But she gets out in the end, so the only harm that happens is that now Internal Discord have to give up the Roshan for free.
Not completely for free. They were able to take a tier 1 tower in the bottom lane just for it, but I really don't think that's worth it since we're dealing with a 9k gold lead and so much pressure coming out from the uprising, which isn't being reflected purely from Eternal Discord here. You did point out they kind of have a support Naga on top, and it's not the support Naga patch anymore. It's been a long time since we have a support Naga patch, so Farm is fantastic for him, but maybe a kill on Fury's a little bit of sacrifice that William takes back with the Blink Reveal. Actually gets a double call there, but it won't save Fury, and it'll take both supports. Will be sacrificed, or will they, as Riz charge on in? The marksmanship is broken. The hammer does drop, but how long does it drop as Naga is just limping away from the entire team as Riz is concentrating straight on the clinks. They get input, they put him down. Naga is TPing out scot-free, but the bigger kill was the clinks there. Maybe some other people survive, but they still get a double, and that was their aggressive movement on Eternal Discord there, and it worked out to get Fury and Spag, but no cause. They just kept feeding the cause.
Yeah, Internal Discord trying their hardest. This is the strategy they know. They're not bad at it. That was a very decent fight to take. And for a moment there, I actually thought it might come out all right. We saw their strong initiation on Fury. The Axe Call didn't save the Nyx, and it was too early to really set up the Drow, right? Like, we saw Riz run into the fight and then sort of immediately have to adjust because he realized that he didn't really have any stuns covering him, and he was alone in the middle of the team. And oh my god, it's all because he
even doing that. It's just everywhere at this point. He just finds you, kills you.
Yeah, I mean, that was the team fight, right? That team fight was going really well for Internal Discord until Kozi arrived, and then he just drove off 3 heroes by himself and killed the Clinks, like, with no help and no threat of dying. He's just invincible.
That's a scary sign to make, because we're only 22 minutes into this game. Eternal Discord look like they're trying to put on a defense here, but they don't exactly have the items for it. I mean, you went Helm Dominator and Clinks. Fantastic. That's a great item for Clinks. But your damage item, your Desolator, still hasn't arrived, and Need Uprising, they're just outside of your base here, ready to go in as soon as the creeps come in. In fact, they don't even need to go high ground. There's some still tier 2 tantalizing tier 2s to take just fully up. In fact, Riz going to be working on the same with Fury's back. Everyone set up around it. Need Uprising still taking more control, more map control, and making this gold lead even worse.
Yeah, it's very awkward. You've got this Clinks who's trying to farm up now. I'm sure you built that Helm of the Dominator expecting to get some immediate kills with it, like the Desolator is a good item, but I mean, the Helm gives you damage as well. It's just that you ideally would have both. You buy that chamber. Oh my god, look at the damage from Riz.
Corpse dead. Justin comes in, the blink comes in, but now Riz, he's forward. He's got the Aegis. He can come back. He's just manning up the fight, but Tackle saves him anyway. Clinks getting called as well. Aegis pop, but Clinks is dead. Instant buyback coming back in, but what can he do? You've got Kozi in the front, but you can see Input is dodging him entirely to go for someone a little bit easier to kill. In fact, he can't find a single soul. Tackle very low here, just being defended by Kozi standing in front. Bag waiting in the trees. Same with Riz, all in the same area. They've got the sentry down. They know exactly what's happening. Gotta be careful about the swap here. Wave of Terror, more poison attack, but now we're just gonna be charging on forward as on Enterprise. But here we go. The Cold Meteor Hammer is coming in. It's the support Naga that we used to love to play, but no Meteor is being dropped. But the Sonic Wave will be dropped, but does it get a single kill? No, not yet, unless you take Spag, the support, and maybe another, but that another is Clinks going down, but Ilium is dominating with a double kill here. We'll be able to take out Kozi. At least Goldrim will be sacrificed. The kill isn't looking too bad yet, but then we get the swap in from Teko, and we're taking out for Gary the Goon, hanging in your base, just standing there. It's a sole survivor, forcing out the buyback from Nagasara to try and defend the base here. But Riz standing guard, blinking forward, silencing up, finding Nagasara because Fury. He was standing outside your fountain the entire time. What is he even doing there?
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Waiting to brutalize internal Discord, just teaching them the lesson, establishing dominance, right? Step one, establish dominance. And that's what we saw there. The dominance of the Drow aura, right? We've never really seen it come into play to this degree. There's so many Agi heroes. I legitimately thought that with the Viper dead, we might see a big team fight win, swing back the side of internal Discord, and maybe we'll see what they do with some gold. But nope, Riz manages to break free for just a minute, and with all the Agi on these two heroes, Vengeful Spirits, Damage Aura as well, and minus armor all applying, suddenly the entire internal Discord team just falls over.
It's looking pretty scary. 21k goal lead, 25 minutes in, 14-29. I mean, the Internal Discord have put in quite a good defense. In fact, Gary DeGoon is trying to big defend himself, but Tekkel's literally hitting your building by himself. He doesn't even care. Okay, Clinks is coming in, Silence on up, but is the damage going to be enough to take him out? Remember, he does come back twice in the form of a spirit, but then Riz comes in and says, hey, don't kill my friend, I'm jumping in, Silence you and killing you anyway. Input is dead, going down, Koza joins the fun as he charges forward with his poison attack, and he's just poison up everybody unless you have a BKB, but then Riz doesn't care about BKBs and cuts right on through it. Drow destroyed you, and right now Need Uprising, they're walking all over Eternal Discord, and GG is called. The Towers of Road and Need Uprising take game one.
Just all leading to submission there. Some wild stuff. We were talking about how this patch is a bit of a throwback. That was some real throwback Dota. Drow versus Clinks, blink daggers on those heroes. This is reminding me of like some like 2013, 2014 Dota. Like I think what was it? Was it MLG Columbus, the Blinks tournament? Like that's how far back we have to go before the last time we saw these guys to play. But man, it seemed very effective. That Riz blink dagger was the backbreaking item for Neat's Uprising. Just being able to blink the Drow in and position so effectively with so much agi spread across your team. Like normally the Drow is the linchpin of your lineup, but there were two other heroes just pumping out the damage to a disgusting degree, and Riz felt very comfortable being hyper aggressive on a hero you don't normally see it from. Very exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, real just perfect play from Need Uprising. All their lanes went well. They had an Axe position 5, and that was absolutely fine for the game. They were able to adapt, and it's kind of scary to see how well they were adapting. Their first two picks were Axe and Nyx Assassin into Eternal Discord's draft.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel comfortable that you can play the Axe in a support role, then yeah, you certainly have a flexible opener. It looked like a very potent offlane, which you really have to kind of draft around. And then once we saw the Queen of Pain and other picks come out to counter the Axe, like, oh, actually, this is the world famous support Axe. You play against that all the time, right? You're ready for this? And I mean, Battle Hunger has come a long way as a skill, right? You wouldn't have thought that support Axe would be that good, but you only really need the Blink Dagger to hit the Blink Call. We've seen plenty of heroes that all they do is blink and stun, you know, to do a perfectly fine job supporting, buy wards like everyone else and place them. And you're kind of tanky for a support. That's pretty neat. And, you know, Battle Hunger is just a really strong laning skill. So if all you want to do is Battle Hunger and run at people and make it very annoying for them to avoid getting spun by their own creep wave as you run around with no regard for last hits, you actually almost make Axe more terrifying as a laner.
Yeah, it does seem like it. And speaking of terrifying, it seems like Need Uprising are extremely terrifying going to the series. I don't exactly know what Eternal Discord doing, but game 2 is coming up, so we are going to be finding out how Eternal Discord deal with one of these titans here. It seems crazy, folks, so don't go anywhere. The action is not going to be stopped, and it's going to be coming right back to you after this short break. And we are back. Need Uprising still proven to be the dominant force as they head into the semifinals. Eternal Discord feeling a little bit shaky going in game 1, but this is game 2. This is when the action comes in. This is going to be the last showing of Eternal Discord for this season. So these guys, they can bring it. They can do whatever they want with the draft. They can bring it to Need Uprising, and maybe it can be the unconventional underdog here that really just breaks a Need Uprising in their game plan, shakes into their core heading into that semifinals, and maybe has repercussions as we go on.
We've seen that upset happen before. You know, in Internal Discord, they can get the job done. Whether or not they have the motivation to try and do it, or whether or not, you know, Neats will allow them to, is another question. You know, Neats, the most consistent team in the LPL, and clearly not willing to, you know, relax for a moment. You know, they have to play finals next week. There's no time to mess around in these games just because you know that you're already pre-qualified. You may as well practice how you intend to go on and use this time to test out your drafts in the crucible of a competitive match, regardless of its actual effect on the standings. In terms of lead with the cop again, so it looks like we are going to see another relatively conventional draft from them after I played up their wildness as well. Now they're trying to win.
Hold on to your horses here. It's just the first pick. It might go crazy from here. Hey, a co-op and a puck. It's a combination we don't see too often here. And actually, they're two Cozy heroes. So if you can't ban out Cozy in your banning stage, you ban them out in your picking stage. Maybe not the most effective strategy in the world, but it does shut down Cozy quite a bit. But then Need Uprising just pick up the TA. Dope, man.
Yeah, they read the strategy. They saw you coming for like 2 out of Cozy's 4 heroes. They're like, oh, not today.
The fabled Queen of Pain puck TA build.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, you can have nowadays Queen of Pain and Puck are supports, right? Like that could be your 2, 4, and 5. That's not even like revealing your lanes in 2020 Dota. We are enlightened beings of pure energy, and we can put heroes in any lane that we like. That's what Team Secret have taught us and their contemporaries. If you're good enough.
That's true.
That being said, I did call it during the break, that internal Discord, having followed up the 3 strength cores from last night. We saw Needs Up Rising pick 3 Agi cores. It'll be up to internal Discord to now follow up and pick 3 Int cores. So I'm expecting Quap safe lane, Puck off lane, and Void Spirit mid, or something along those lines.
Oh,
AA mid. Show me the AA mid.
AA mid.
Ice Frog,
actually doesn't seem too bad a matchup.
He's been buffing this AA mid. Ice Frog wants to return to 2011. He wants to see, Dendy's mid apparition again, and he will continue buffing Chilling Touch until someone does it. There's no Dendy in this game, but
then it'll instantly be nerfed into the ground as soon as someone actually wins the game with AA mid.
10 seconds.
Well, you got to listen to Reddit. I'm sure it'll explode if AA mid becomes popular in pubs. The number of missed ice blasts is going to be astronomical.
Oh man!
All right, back to the actual game at hand.
Right now, I'm pretty scared of Need Uprising.
We're seeing some pretty strong bans. Internal Discord banning out, again, very sensible heroes, targeting the signature heroes, the many signature heroes of Needs Uprising. Pretty much every single one of their heroes, bans and picks so far, is something that is played to perfection by a member of the Needs, except for the Underlord, who is just bonkers on the patch. Like, high 50% win rate in the Immortal bracket, I believe, dominating mid lane, off lane, safe lane, nerf Reign of Chaos. Rain of Fire?
Yeah, it seems. But right now, I'm looking at Eternal Discord here, and it seems. There's a little bit of strategy here. You're talking about the supports maybe being the Queen of Pain in the Park potentially out there because this patch is insane.
I do not believe
right now, we haven't got braces here, but it seems like they're playing the Cozy patch. Queen of Pain, Puck, Husker.
That's true. I wonder if they're all going to pick Cozy heroes and then get to the game and send 5 heroes mid and just start aggressively tipping Cozy as the TA attempts to hide and meld while 5 heroes roam around on top of her. I really would believe anything at this point in the LPL Pro season. Right? This is the final game. Internal Discord have to do something, and we know they are creative. Okay, here's an Ursa pick. Don't know if we've seen Cozy rep this, although we saw nearly every other player in the competition run it over the course of the previous patch. Just the strongest hero bar none, and nerfed not quite as much as I would have liked, but enough to blunt the claws of the Ursa. Have not seen it picked up really so far on this patch.
A little bit. The man's got middens on his hands now, but even if they are covered in middens, he'll do some damage to the Legion Commander and the Elder Titan. And even maybe the TA. If you get on top of her without a refraction, she is dead instantly. So it's still a pretty good Ursa game overall. Even if he's not as ferocious as he used to be in these bans, they're still pretty ferocious. Weaver Grimstroke combination being gone right now for the final 2 picks, which you can't pick both. But right now, the final pick is Train Protector. Nice, safe, and sound, really. Coming out from Total Discord, I'm surprised by the security in their final pick here. It's not completely off the charts.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the first 3 picks came from. Maybe they just really like these lanes. They are all strong laning heroes and decent in the mid game. They have, all similar peaks. Huskar, Quap, and Puck. And then Ursa and Treant seem to almost just be a reaction to seeing this Elder Titan come out, right? That is an attention-grabbing hero. I have not seen it a lot recently at all. And when you consider what Elder Titan does, it's all about out the natural order, removing all of the armor and the magic resist from your heroes. And, TA, obviously, a hero fond of minus armor herself, you start to see a bit of a pattern. So Ursa and Treant Protector both capable of achieving high damage resistance effects without relying on armor and magic resist. The natural order will not deal with the enrage or the natural armor. So interesting to see Internal Discord counterpicking so heavily against just Spags ET, but you got to do something with your draft, I guess. And these are not weak heroes. Do love to see Riz Pango.
No. Yeah, I was about to say, the one last week, I believe, from Nina Uprising, who seemed to be picked reactionary. They kind of adjusted their draft around it. Nina Uprising said, screw it. We're going back for it. We're going to make sure it happens. Riz playing the core Pangolier for real this time. But I'm also pretty interested in Eternal Discord. The Queen of Pain and the Punk are actually the supports in the end. And Treant Protector is going to go on the man himself in the offlane core role, as it turns out.
I should have stuck to my guns. Yeah, this core Treant, I mean, it's got its supporters, not only Seb of OG, but I mean, recently more and more players have been experimenting ever since the Overgrowth, got buffed, the Ultimate, and the Nature's Guys got remade. This hero actually has something to its credit as a team fighter, no longer the Treant of old, where it was kind of one of the worst heroes in the game to put levels on, and just like a self-defeating exercise to play as a core. And as much as I love to see support Treant, this is going to be very exciting to see what they can do with it. Certainly a more reliable offlaner than the Naga Siren. It was a bit of a wild pick in the last game. Now they're tightening it up. In terms of Discord, they want to take out this game. They want to go out with a bang, on a high. Certainly picking Huskar is one way to try and do that. And the Riz Pangolier, this is a bit of a redemption arc for him, right? Like, clearly, as you mentioned, we suspected last week that it might have been an accidental pick, and it did seem like a very awkward game. So I imagine that if that's the case, Nissa spent the intervening time just in the hyperbolic time chamber spamming Pangolier games so that this time the Rolling Thunders will be on point.
Well, hopefully to go for it. Maybe the game doesn't have the biggest stacks at all, but this will be the final showing of Eternal Discord, at least for this season. So it's looking big. They've picked pretty big in themselves. You can't go much bigger than the mid-Husker these days, especially against Causey's TA in the mid lane. So Eternal Discord, they are coming to play this series here.
Yeah, that Refraction versus Burning Spears matchup, pretty favourable for the old Huskar, as many mid-matchups are. And I did love the sight of all of Internal Discord unified in the flail animation on the pre-game loading screen. That's how I'd like to remember them, really.
What about the five-man line?
As they depart this competition, flailing as one, and now as one charging into the jungle, ready to fight. Do they even have a smoke, or is this just like the non-smoke smoke?
There it goes.
Here we go.
The Eternal Discord signature, the five-man smoke.
How do teams not
it's great.
Play around this at this point? if you get caught and die to this, it's your own fault.
Well, actually, Causey in the mid, I think they want the TA here because he's the only one who should be in this area.
All the way back to base, he knows. He's realized I'm the target.
Yeah, it's out of
no one else can attack.
Oh,
it's
man.
minus 40 seconds to this game. They must be on me.
There is one way to do this, though. They can see Causey heading down, and they can surprise him on his way back. The smoke is broken for everyone. Everyone is going to be seen in case anybody goes to the high ground here. Nobody is testing it. Fury is in the area. He's actually scouting out the entire area going, where the hell is anyone? There's no one in this bottom lane. They've completely abandoned. They're circling around the tier 1 and the tier 2 mid, but it turns out they're all on the high ground waiting for someone to come. Even Spag, he's trying to look for something. There's nothing.
The exact high ground where
process of elimination. Oh, pause.
They've just
they know
the same
Fury's here though.
Unpredictable.
It is true. But sometimes it's predictable enough that you fall for it, and maybe Fury going for the rune, he's like, okay, maybe Gary's here slipping in the rune. Okay, the entire team's waiting in the trees. You don't know. There's no help coming.
Well, I mean, look, we're going to see maybe Internal Discord there. This is their old reliable. Maybe it's going to work out for them. But, as far as our old reliable, we have to keep going back to our sponsors. Every game, they continue to officially support the LPL and make sure that this season comes to you in high quality, high production value. And we'd like to thank the New Zealand Defence Force, most of all, for their support. And encourage you to check out their recruitment across all branches of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. They're all recruiting over at... what is it, GTH?
Defencecareers.mil.nz, I believe.
That's the one. Yes, lost in my notes for a second, but thank you, of course, to the New Zealand Defence Force for that support. As we wait for the teams to get back into the game, do you want to start taking bets? Who's going to die here? Because there's going to be a fight. Internal Discord are not the kind of team to back down, even though they've been now found out heavily inside enemy territory at level 1 between the tier 2 tower. It actually looks like they're charging into the mid lane as we speak.
They're deciding between their picks here. They wanted Cozy, but Cozy ain't coming, so they got to choose between maybe a Legion or a Rubik. I think they want the Rubik, but then again, I'm getting the slight suspicion here, but it's not going to work out the way they want. Spag is coming back. Are you TPing to lane? Yeah. Would they avoid the situation? Maybe.
Oh, actually, they haven't been scouted yet, have they? Fury is not quite on the high ground yet, and there's been no ward. So this whole time, in terms of
they did ping him,
but we are about to make contact. First contact. They're pinging.
Gary gets it. He gets the rune. They see him, but there's no control. They didn't pick a lineup with any stuns, so they can't keep anyone to play. They're just going for Cossie in the lane. That's how you want to play. This is a total discord right now. Running him down, keeping it back, taking down shots. I love it. It's beautiful. Even Fury's coming in to say hello to all 5 members of Eternal Discord. Just running. Gary's gone. Gary's out of it. Went too far forward. Holy moly. Put in the ground and the kill is theirs. First blood is going to Cozy. He's going for the Husker here. He's got physical damage. The native grass does absolutely nothing. We're missing creep waves here. We're absolutely missing creep waves. They're going to be creeping up on Spag. Spag is getting free XP as Cozy is chasing down the Husker. That's meant to be hitting creeps right now. He's not doing a single thing. In fact, sparing the XP between the 2 supports here, and now Husker makes it to his tower just to die. Just to die to Cozy, but Cozy been surrounded by 3 now. Fury's coming to save. Spag's coming to save, but now Cozy is being denied. No kill for you for Eternal Discord at all. Gary's looking for something, anything they can do. The 5-man smoke is looking like a disaster as they bring it back in 4 heroes as well. Oh, I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. The orb is done. Spag is finally dead. No, he's denied again. Fury's got 2 denies already this game. Both kills that you could have got are being completely shut down by the Rubik. You end up with nothing, and now maybe you go back to your lanes.
Maybe you say, hopefully. It's all right. Look, I appreciate your expert play-by-play, but in an internal Discord game, we might have to share the load because I do not think they intend to slow down. Gary the Goon, this is his lane. He's already home. This is the 5-man mid anti-Cozy psyop. Team Oracle have paid off internal Discord, the emotional hitmen of the LPL, to just sit on this man in the mid lane and punish him endlessly. But after Fury's chain of denies, it seems that maybe that plan they're going to have to give up on it. No, Gary the Goon is not giving up.
Gary, no.
He will continue to feed until death.
It's kind of scary. I mean, if you look at Cozy's item list right now, it's 6 elves. It's 6 elves against this.
That's the mental damage that's been done. As he's just trying to survive right now. All he can think of is health regen. He has to stay alive. Meanwhile,
oh no, Husker in the mid. I believe Fury's found him. But about to say, Riz has been left completely alone in the top. He's got 16-15. Riz literally just hanging beside a tower going, maybe a creep will eventually show up. I don't know. I can't exactly enter this lane at all. Gary, who's meant to be helping me, he's in the mid lane helping the Husker.
The offlane Treant walks into the lane, looks at the Ursa, looks at the Elder Titan walking over to him, steps back into the safety of his tower outside of XP Rage and starts dancing under a disco ball, and then eventually dies to Riz anyway. So no hope that this will ever return to anything resembling a game of Dota. This is just some sort of awkward exhibition now, performance art. God Dream is literally level 1. No comment. Oh, sorry, Gary the Goon is also level 1. Level 1 heroes here.
No, Gary is level 2. He gets it just as it comes in to go for Fury. Can he do it? He fave shits. That's his level 2 to dodge 1 chicken damage. He dies anyway. He's in the ground, running back. God Dream tried to help, but he is level 1. But that means there is a level 4 Ursa running at you, looking for a kill. But there's your telekinesis. You send him back. and you get nothing unless GodDream blinks forward, trying to get the kill himself. Fadeball, oh man, he's feeding himself to it. Can you get yourself Fury? You can! You're feeding Ilya, but at the same point of time, Kazi sacrificed himself to Husker sacrificed himself to Kazi. Kills are happening everywhere. Spag, he somehow kills a train protector again. These lanes are just, I mean, I can't even put it to paper right now. Spag is just running at anyone he sees.
Yeah, Spag is chasing down heroes on the Elder Titan, flexing the muscles of that hero's early game. Do not mess with the ancestral spirit of the Elder Titan. Unfortunately, internal Discord only have one speed, which is mess. So they are running into the jaws of this Elder Titan and feeding it aggressively. Same thing with Kazi in the mid lane. This Husker, whatever laning threat posed, unfortunately disintegrated along with that prolonged 5-man attack on the mid lane at level 1. Techcore has had an Orb of Venom in his backpack for the first half of the laning phase. Remembers to take it out after that last team fight. So now this lane is going to go even worse for the side of internal Discord.
Kazi?
And Kazi starting a peace treaty in the mid lane. AFK now together
a little bit
as they wait for the creeps.
He's burning. Yep. He's burning for fun. Input still hitting him. He's good. He's good to go, my man. It kind of feels comfortable right now because he didn't have to. Oh, okay, maybe. He's gonna be careful. Tower shots? No, that is not Eternal Discord style, but GodDream dying around the runes. That exactly is right now the aggressive plays. I love it. But Spag, he's already in the mid to set on up. Looks like Input setting up. Gary DeGood is waiting. He doesn't have silence. He's level 2. He has Orb and a phase shift. He can't stop, but Kazi is just playing with death itself. Just burning, trying to sacrifice, but Fury comes on in to get the Husker anyway. We do tip out Kazi. Well, we're gonna tip Husker back as we put him down. GodDream blinks in as well, and Spag is just hitting him down. And how many hits? Let's make it 2. One more on the trees. He's running back, but he gets one more hit. The Astral Spirit is gone from him, so he needs to do it the old way. But the Self's already coming up to help him, and the Courier isn't going to be dead. Spag between the trees. Actually going to get a stomp. Going to be dodged by Gary, and maybe the kill finally comes. Can we get a deny from Fury? He's moving in to do it. Can't even do it. A little bit of greed coming out of Fury. Might get paid right now as Huskers just respawn and join in the fun. That's going to disarm him, so he can't even hit you back. And the all flying through. I believe Fury should be dead, but speaking of dead, Tree Protector dies in the top lane again. Riz gets himself a solo, and Fury tries to TP out. In fact, he gets it. He's good to go. At the same point of time, Ilium is trying to keep Tekor back, maybe get a kill on the Legion Commander. That one's not happening, but man, action in every single one of these lanes. It's Eternal Discord to a T.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the true internal Discord special. They've revealed their true power level. Mighty Chaos Warlocks of Dota that they are. They are teaching us all how to play Dota bravely right now, as Riz just toys with this poor offlane Treant. They picked this Treant to basically be a living arm buff for their cause, and he's just here to leech XP, because it feels as though someone should be in the lane. If you're a Dota player, it's just kind of reflexive. Top lane's empty, you're like, I guess I'll go there. Someone should be there, near those creeps. And it's your job today, Treant. Go there and die. So, you know...
Yeah.
It's a 2k gold lead. Is this actually less than it was at the point in game 1? I feel like Meetup was pretty further ahead last game.
Yeah, I mean, if you play like Eternal Discord, they're going to do better, because Eternal Discord know how to play this way. Just literally run you down.
What I worry about is the XP differential. You mentioned those heroes being stuck at level 1 for a while, and this is how Internal Discord's games often look when they play like this. You're like, oh, that's surprisingly close. And then a few minutes later, you notice that all 3 of their heroes are on the bottom of the net worth chart. They have several heroes stuck at level 3. Their offlaner is never getting his ultimate, and suddenly, 10 minutes later, the game ends. So I don't condone this if you want to win games of Dota, but if you just want to have a lot of fun, Ilium... You mentioned these. Oh no!
Tackle? Can he get away? Oh man, the Duke's Riz gets himself triggered again in the top lane. Gary DeGoon, he's just dying because Kazi just turned up. He's like, okay, I'm here, guys. I might as well get a kill as I come in. And Ilium dies to the overwhelming odds. Eternal Discord lose 3 there when they really shouldn't have lost a single hero.
But Ilium did Internal Discord did manage to get the kill on the Courier there and pick off the phase boots of the Legion Commander. So in the end, that's a pretty sizable win. That's delaying an important item, a valuable Courier kill at this point in the game. If it were not this kind of gameplay, then that would be more meaningful in the overall outcome. As it is, We'll have to wait and see. I mean, this Huskar is pretty strong right now. If they grouped up as 5, I feel like they could maybe get something done. But right now, it's the chaos of internal Discord is working against them, even in their super aggressive plan, right? Because these like 1v1s are not helping them. Look at this Riz dominate the Tree Protector.
He's just gave his medal, but Huskar's trying to get Koziko's again, but fraction being used, and it just seems like Koziko's moving even this trap. He can't even break that before he gets blown on up 3 years in mid. Doesn't really matter because Koziko's can still solo you. Man, it is looking kind of like a disaster overall. If we put the numbers to paper here, they might be doing the Eternal Discord flavor, but still, it is not working out for them at all. 4-18. 5k gold lead. We do need to stop the bleeding sometime, and I mean their strategy on paper as a go point, it's just at all times go.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you were looking at this draft and you told me how would I approach it, if I didn't know Internal Discord were playing it, I would have said that they're actually going to play the lanes a bit more calmly for the first few minutes because they really want to get 6 on a lot of these heroes, right?
Koziko's coming in, Tackle's already there, just going to get Husker. We're not even using the duel, we're taking it down. I believe Gary got killed by the duel anyway, so you don't even have to use it. It's fine. Is he going to die? He's running away, so you cannot deny him. He doesn't, he wants to give them a kill, just potentially, but he won't even die. It won't even happen.
He's under attack.
Wow.
He wants it. Just give nothing. Enterprising playing perfectly.
If Spag hadn't run there, do you think Fury would have killed him for the deny?
Maybe. Yep. Yeah.
I think it was happening. I think Spag knew. Fury's already gotten too nice. He's gotten a taste for his teammates' blood. They know this Rubik's a traitor now, so they don't want to give Fury the chance to have a bit of fun. But yeah, as I was saying, like, Puck and Quap, they're fine supports. Even together, I think they can be acceptable. And these cores are not bad cores to play with them, right? You've got these sort of very powerful laning cores to make up for these non-traditional laning supports. But what you want to do with these greedy support picks is kind of just stick them in the lane, right? Like, they've got strong abilities for laning. You know, just pull, get them extra experience points, get those powerful team fights.
Well, they're going to be trying to do it. Fury's Crew's dead, charging forward, getting damage. Riz finally joined these fights, and the roll is looking massive. Can Fury even die here? The duel's down there. It's controlling Gary again. Perfect stun, perfect damage. They are all getting dismantled. You got Fury, but you lost 3 of your own. Goddream is looking for couriers at this point, just trying to escape. And that is about it. While your Husker hits creeps in the mid lane, he cannot even join, even if he wanted to.
He's close. He's progressing towards the armlet. So input, you know, stacking a lot of strength here. It's hard to bring him down, even with the burst damage that comes out of the Need Uprising lineup. So that is, in a sense, all you need to play Huskar, just the ability to survive the initial burst of damage and start those machine gun burning spears coming out. And like, we're seeing the resilience of this Internal Discord lineup. They pick heroes that suit their playstyle, but maybe that level one commitment in the mid lane, they like double down and then triple down and then quadruple down, and they lost all their money every time. I don't know how you can keep betting all in after you already lost the last all-in bet and they took all your cash. But yeah, they're severely in debt now and behind in the game on a level where I don't know if it's possible to come back.
Well, I mean, while we've got a little bit slower action in the game here, because I don't... Well, yeah, he's farming up for eventually. But, I mean, while we got a little bit of stop, because this game does not have any pauses at all in the action, we might as well take some time to thank one of our fantastic sponsors for this season, WD Black, our hardware sponsor, bringing some great hard drives to save all your games. But can it even save the Ursa? I don't know. I don't think he has a WD Black hard drive. Gary DeGoon definitely does not, because this game cannot be saved at this point, just being constantly killed. And maybe Gary should look at his game library right now, because if he did have one of those hard drives, he could save every single one of his games and play them whenever he wants. You never have to choose anymore with WD Black, and we thank them for sponsoring this season. But Ilium is going to be thanking Tekka for coming into this lanes. A few love slaps as he kicks him right back on out.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe they could use their WD Black hard drive to load up some games while they're dead, but unfortunately, this puck is so low level that you're not going to be dead for long enough. They're just not enabling these supports the way that you need to make these picks work out, right? Like it's critical to understand, not just, puck supports in vogue this patch, right? Not all supports are created equal. You have to understand how to play the hero, and right now they're not facilitating these players. It seems like they're having fun, but these heroes are not operating at their proper strength because of it. And now Riz has completed a 13.5-minute MKB Treads Wand Wraith Band on this Pangolier. This is the most farmed core Pangolier I've ever seen. And we are about to see some more dead trees chopped up into lumber by this rapier-wielding armadillo.
Oh, right now they just want the blink from Fury picked up, destroys. They got a duel on top of it to help tackle even more. It's 10k goal lead, 14 minutes in. I mean, it's not the worst score we've ever seen in the world, but it does seem insurmountable at this point.
It's just the manner of the way that the score is being racked up. I mean, look, 10k gold lead is not the highest gold that we've ever seen. 5 to 28 is a stat line that we only really see in internal Discord games. This, I feel like this internal Discord season ender has happened a couple of times now, so we're used to it, but like, this is a real stat pattern. We've got 50 dual damage on the Legion Commander already at 14 minutes.
Gold Dream. They're just running him down. I don't even know what to say at any point. Husker is just literally spinning. That's his response to being ganked by Need Uprising at this point.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah,
Radiant structures are
Need Uprising obviously have the chops to play out whatever kind of game that they need to. They're going to stay steady. Strong leadership, strong discipline. They've got finals ahead of them to play for. So they're just, you know, playing their game, closing this out, taking the opportunities handed to them, not giving internal Discord more than they need to.
Maybe a kill return. They get Fury. Just in time, 30 seconds on him. A kill in return to slow a little bit of bleeding, but it took every single member of your team.
Yeah, I mean, look, at least you're bringing your whole team now. That's what I said they should have done. They should have not done it as early as they did, and then done it earlier than now, right? Like, instead of grouping as 5 at level 1, and then at, like, level 10, 15 minutes into the game, go to your lanes and group at level 6 and do this. Yeah, then you might actually win.
Yeah, potentially. They are trying. They're keeping Tackle back at least a little bit, but as soon as that comes out, he purges it back on off. This Treant Protector, though, in the offlane is just constantly being destroyed. In fact, they're just going to try to throw him again. Gary going caught with another dual input. He charges in to try and take the fight, but he's just getting dismantled here. The pieces are just falling apart. Whatever puzzle they were trying to solve is just getting destroyed in their faces. Quop cannot do a single thing. Level 5 at 16 minutes does not even have her Sonic Wave.
Wow. No ult, that's rough. Yeah, I've had the very occasional game like this when you can't talk to your pub teammates and there's just no cohesion. You can't get your team to enable you and get you into the game, but it's very tough to, you know, to be playing in the middle of a tournament and have this kind of game happen to you, this kind of truck hit you. Luckily, it's still.
They found Husker again. He's controlled. The damage is insane right now. As they're on forward, another duel on the Husker. They're gonna take him down. Tekla has so much damage at this point. It's insane. Gary is just trying to get back safety, but he's dead again. We're only 16 minutes in, and now your tier 2s are bound to fall and potentially just going straight into the high ground.
Yep, I mean, it's in it, right? Like, this is what we mentioned. I think I said last night that teams, they tend to feed, you know, feeding loses you the game very slowly and then all at once. And we've reached the all at once point, it feels like. They're just dying and dying faster and faster and faster. Even though they're not dead for very long, they're just powerless to really do anything. It almost doesn't matter whether they're alive when they have this few items and levels. Because the Treant has not even finished his first item, trying to assemble that Meteor Hammer. And very soon, you know, needs to pretty much just sort of building the minimum levels and items they need to take the higher ground. We might see them get a safety Roshan just so they can be extra brazen. And then they probably are going to charge the high ground. Tech Core already 80 dual damage at 70 minutes in. Boy, I'd love to be playing this Legion Commander game. There's a double damage rune available. They really are putting all the pieces together, and we've seen some teams muck around and up PA Ags or whatever in this tournament. I don't know if Need Uprising are going to give internal Discord too much more time in the spotlight before closing out their season in this game.
Oh, they've just destroyed Godrum again. It looks like his stream is going down the dumps here because it's just Need Uprising completely controlling every single aspect of this game. Got a 20k goal lead. It's 640 right now, and I mean, it seems like the communication is fantastic on the side of Need Uprising. Eternal Discord really looking a little bit shaky with how they're trying to react here. But, I mean, the action just keeps going. Gary Goon is just getting caught out by Constant Causing every single where he goes on the map. It is insane to see, and while the action's still going, maybe actually Dream Protector, Husker getting gone upon by Riz, who's soloing up potentially them both. Overgrowth is there, it's coming, he's disarmed and he's dying. Riz gets a double, even more kills, but aside of Need Uprising, it just keeps on adding up. 21 at this point, and we're not even in the 20-minute mark. It just is insurmountable. Tekko is looking to duel up Ilium, just forcing out the Furious Swamps and just chasing him back, just playing around with their food. The Orb's coming in to keep him back, but I don't think you can keep Tekko back at all. But no, Dream Core can it be broken? You have broken on Kozikozi, but I believe this man's got the Aegis as Godream blinks on forward to get some more damage on him. Tekko, he's jumping back and forth, actually going to duel back onto Godream. Easy quick kills, easy quick damage, but Tekko might finally die. No! In rage, he's just going to be picked on up by Fury, gets on back from the stomp. He can't do a thing but die himself. Husker manning up, burning down, looking for Kozikozi finally, but the man's got the Aegis, so even if he dies, he goes down, but he's not even going to die at all. He is godlike and destroying you. 4 Heroes that Trent trying to join the fun, but he can't make it in time at all. My man, this game is looking completely Need Uprising favor. GG is just completely gonna be cool. They know their time is done, and that is unfortunately where we say goodbye to Eternal Discord. But Need Uprising 2-0 against Eternal Discord tonight. Guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to be continuing with the action here at LPL right after this short break. See you then, folks. And we are back. Eternal Discord going down 2-0 to Need Uprising there. It seemed very comfortable for Need Uprising to play it out, but they still that dominant force as we head into the semifinals here.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty chaotic drafts in the last couple of days. Obviously, it's a brand new patch in the end of the season. Teams are trying to figure things out very quickly before the finals, throwing a lot of stuff at the wall. And Eternal Discord, they tried a few different, completely opposite approaches, really. Game 1, very conservative. Game 2, hyper aggressive, even by their standards. Both times, Need Uprising, we've said it before, one of the classiest and most consistent teams in the region. They hold strong, just dismiss the opposition. It really looked like a top of the table versus bottom of the table match in the end.
Yeah, that's right. And the results kind of do reflect it in the end. Unfortunately, Eternal Discord, they've had a bit of up and downs this week, but they are going down 2-0 overall to Need Uprising, which is fantastic for their score. That means they are going to be tied up with Crossfire right up the top there. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, 11-3 is the end result coming out from the season.
Yeah, just one game behind Team Oracle, so, bragging rights go to them, the minor premiers of sorts. Oracle AU only dropping 2 games the whole season, 1 to Crossfire, 1 to FF5v2 last night that eliminated Toons Reborn from contention. So apart from that, just a sterling season from them, really laying down the gauntlet to these teams in the final series. But I mean, Need Uprising and Crossfire, they didn't do that much worse. Even Neats, who got 2-0'd by Oracle, I think have the potential to defeat them. That's just how the cards fell on that one night. This is the closest top 4 we have ever had, and I'm extremely excited to see these teams clash in the final series.
Oh yeah, I was about to bring that up. Semifinals are coming, and we know the teams Oracle, Crossfire, Need Uprising, FF5v2s. We've watched them every single week. We've watched them evolve coming into this final. It seems like a massive semifinal. No matter what these matchups are, these games are gonna be big.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it's going to be cutthroat from here. We saw it last season. You can be strong all season. If you drop the ball in the semifinals, you're not entitled to progressing further in the tournament. You have to be firing on all cylinders from here on out. And that's why we see Needs Uprising not relaxing for a second, even in this last week of gameplay, even with their spot in the top 4 secured. They just want to remain in that peak form, keep the engine turning over, and I'm sure they'll be scrimming hard all week because I feel as though they want to take revenge on Oracle. They are the defending champions, and they have kind of looked like the 2nd or 3rd best team in the competition consistently throughout this season. There's always been teams outshining them on the big stage, and they're going to have their chance to take it back.
That's right. It is looking pretty big. So we do have to see how these matchups play out, guys. So if we do want to see all the information, guys, just follow LPL Play on Twitter for how these semifinals come out. Maybe Crossfire is going to be against Oracle. Maybe it is going to be Need Uprising versus Oracle for the crown. These matchups seem very important because we watched these games through the weeks. We saw how these teams competed, and these were the series where they dropped games. Oracle, the one game they dropped was against Crossfire, and coming to the semifinals, that could be massive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a new patch, and I feel as though they will not let the similar drafts through again. The specific, Baosu, Weaver, Reverie, Alchemist took, all the stops out of Crossfire, but that is the team that they are, a very mercurial team with a very unique playstyle. Kind of wrong-footed Oracle. Oracle, of course, some of the best players in the region, in every role, a really elite team, kind of in their minds, I'm sure, a class above the rest of the competition. It's their title to lose in their minds. So, we'll see whether anyone is up to defy them in the coming weeks.
That is right, folks. And it is only going to be 6 days to wait to see these semi-finals coming up for LPL. It is feeling massive. I am excited to see, and just that, all the information will be there on LPL Play to see all the up-to-date information. But, folks, we will be seeing you 6:30 Monday night for the semi-finals for LPL Season 2. Do not miss it. We will see you there, folks, and we'll catch you with some amazing Dota games here at LPL.